Hi everyone, I'm Kaylee Hansen with SVA Consulting, and in this video we'll walk through various reporting functionality within Acumatica. So it's a couple of different avenues for reporting and getting to the data that you need, doing those types of analysis within Acumatica. So we'll highlight a couple of those various tools today. And we'll focus primarily on some of the sales side. So some of that sales profitability reporting, sales analysis, etc. And the three main components we'll talk through today are reporting through dashboards, through generic inquiries, as well as through kind of pre-built or canned reports as well. So we'll show examples for all three of those today, as well as talk about some of the pros and cons to each one, or specific use cases where you may use one over the other. So to start, I'm just within my customer view dashboard. And really, I'm showing this for the sales side because it gives a 360-degree view of the customers across my entire organization. So this could be a good dashboard, for various people within the organization to just get a good look at, what's going on overall kind of on the customer side. So you'll start to notice we have things such as, action items on how many orders do I have to ship at this moment in time, how many opportunities do I have? So a little bit more on the sales and pre-sale side. How many active opportunities that are open do I have? Any action items needed there? And then some accounts receivable information as well as some support. So if you're leveraging, customer support after the sale, for example, that sort of information can be displayed on this type of dashboard as well. Then we have things like sales trends by month. So how much revenue, how many sales did I have, across the last 6 months or so? And then what were the top items that were purchased by customers as well? So this again gives kind of that 360-degree view across the organization. And this is kind of a pre-built dashboard within Acumatica. But then remember that all dashboards in Acumatica can be customized or tailored to you as well. So if there's various widgets or data that you want shown within a dashboard when you initially log into the system, that can easily be added and tailored to specific users as well. So that's kind of the first part. And then the second part of a dashboard like this is that we can begin to filter down for specific customers as well. So this can be helpful when looking at, total sales and sales trends across the organization, as well as specific trends for a customer account specifically. So if I wanted to go ahead and look at, in this case, Ulta Ace is one of my top customers. I could filter this dashboard specific to Ulta Ace, and then we would see how that information is updating as well. So everything within the dashboard is real time, it's dynamic. So as I'm filtering by this specific account, we can see that now for Ulta Ace specifically, I have 18 orders to ship. They have 8 open opportunities for that specific account. And then we can see, their past trends in terms of sales. So I can tell pretty quickly on, they had a lot of sales within the month of November and December, but January was quite low. So maybe I could do some further analysis as to, what was going on in the month of January that made those sales a lot lower. I can see some of their top items as well. So what are those top items that they're purchasing, recent activities, etc. And like I said, everything within the dashboard is drillable. So if I wanted to see, oh wow, November was a large month for them, let's drill down and see how many orders are making that up, what that kind of looks like as well. I can drill down directly from the dashboard. So now I'm seeing more of a breakdown of, for Ulta Ace in the month of November, what were those specific sales that were making up, that large amount. In this case, we can see they had 5 different sales. This one on the 21st was quite large, so I could drill down further into it through here. I can also leverage these side panel views to get a better look at that sales order as well. So now directly from the dashboard, I can filter by specific customers, start to see things like sales trends across a specific customer, and then drill down further to see the details of what's making up those monthly sales, and then what's included within those sales orders as well. So we can see, they bought 2 conveyor belts, pretty pricey items, and those are what were contributing to, one of those large sales within the month of November, for example. And I could toggle between these and see how, those sales orders on the right-hand side start to reflect what's highlighted on the left as well. So it's kind of one main example of an out-of-the-box dashboard that begins to show you some details and data and trends across the sales side of the organization. I can remove this specific customer, and then if I were to, filter by a different customer, for example, select that, I can go ahead and see how that data is changing again. So here they have 6 orders to ship. They only had sales within January, and these were some of their top items as well. So that's kind of option one, is looking at various analysis through the dashboard views. So the next item that I'll talk about is really some of these generic inquiry views. And so one popular one that we have within Acumatica is the sales profitability analysis. So again, this is kind of a native generic inquiry built within Acumatica, specifically for showing you the sales profitability analysis. So here I can have, this view, and I can see right away there's things like conditional formatting going on. So here I have, all records. I can have filters at the top to say, okay, what was just this week for specific sales? And then for each one, I can see what was the date on that sale, what was that total net sale, as well as the cost and the margin associated with it. So this is a popular view for running things like sales profitability analysis. If I wanted to filter this by, a specific item, I could do that as well. So anything that I wanted to see, what's the profitability across a specific item, I have the ability to go ahead and filter at the top by that, or by a customer as well. So if I have a specific customer within the system, I can go ahead, search by them, and then show, just for them, what does that look like? What does their sales profitability look like? What do those margin percentage look like, etc. So a lot of filters at the top that allow me to see sales profitability just by, across all sales, across a specific date range at the top for a specific salesperson, item class, item, customer, etc. So a lot of different capabilities there for seeing this type of trend. And then of course, we'll see this totals at the bottom. So within this specific date range, for example, we can see my net sales across that range of dates, what the costs associated with those items were, and then the corresponding margin, and in this case, average margin percentage as well. And then if I wanted to drill down further into these, of course, I could do so by drilling down into the sales order. I could also use, again, these side panel views. So in this case, I have just a customer view dashboard showing up as well. So this is what we saw earlier, but now this is showing you how it can come into play on a view like this as well. So that's kind of the second option. And the advantage of something like a generic inquiry, what we're looking at now would be, it's a little bit more flexible. So within all of these views, I can use those top filters that we talked about, but I could also use all of the column filters as well. So if I wanted to see just anything greater than, $1,000 as the margin, I could do so, and it's going to trim my data a bit. If I just wanted to see, across a specific item class, I can filter that at the top here as well. Maybe I have different types of sales orders, so quotes versus orders versus invoices. I could go ahead and filter by that as well. And then I could save these filters and come back to them in the future. So a little bit more dynamic on the generic inquiry side than, for example, a pre-canned or pre-built report. So that's a good segue into some of those reports. So we saw our profitability analysis, and then here we have different reports within Acumatica. So these are all kind of out-of-the-box reports. A lot of these would be what you would expect on some of the sales side. So we have things like an AR aging report, a pretty classic report in Acumatica, but we can start to see the differences between more of a generic inquiry view versus a reporting view. So we'll give this a second to load, and then we'll run a couple of reports to see, what does Acumatica come with out of the box? What do these look like? As well as what are some of the capabilities on the reporting side. So here's a specific report, similar to what we saw before on the parameters on the dashboard, as well as that inquiry. We do have report dashboards as well. So we can have it default to various values. This is going to show AR aging as of a specific date. And then I could filter by customer as well. I'm just going to run this report to see what it looks like across, many customers in this example. But this would be more of a standard report in Acumatica. So you'll see it's structured a little bit more like a report. You could go ahead, export this, print it, send it out via email, etc. And this is a little bit of a cleaner report, with headers and footers, and that sort of thing as well. I will say that the reports are also drillable. So if I wanted to drill down, for example, into this invoice reference number, anything that's in that blue hyperlink is drillable. So whether I want to drill down into the customer or in this case, invoice, I can do so directly through the report, which is nice to see some of those further details and drill down directly from that larger report. So in this case, I can refresh my screen here. This would drill down into that invoice specifically, or the customer in this case. So there's that specific customer that we had showing within that AR aging report, can drill down and see that customer as well. So it's kind of one example. Other examples in terms of some of the out-of-the-box reports for the sales side, something like a daily sales profitability. So this may show similar data to what we saw in that inquiry view, but again, a little bit different in terms of the setup. So if I just wanted to run this report, I can see, from April 1st to April 16th, here's kind of my daily sales profitability. So things like those net sales, the cost, the margin, etc. You'll notice a little bit less dynamic in terms of filtering by each column and those results, but I do have those initial parameters as well when I run this the initial time. So I can run that report, again, can drill down into these hyperlinks to see additional details, in this case, on this sales order as well. A lot of other reports within the system on the AR side, on the sales order side. A lot of these you may use day one, you may not use many of them. So a lot available to use out of the box. And then something that our team can assist on primarily within the implementation as well is what types of reports do you guys need on a daily basis? Is that data best displayed in something like a dashboard or a generic inquiry or a true report? Any additional reports that we would need to build out as well. And so a lot of options there in terms of the reporting side, specifically for sales in this example. So I hope that gave you a high-level overview on some of the reporting functionality within Acumatica. Definitely reach out if you have additional questions, and we'll be happy to walk through any additional questions with you. Thank you.